Hello, coaches on the Champions page. Welcome to another exciting To Be Mindset training. I'm Kevin Shaw here on the training team, and we have had such an amazing response from our week one training with Ilana. The excitement is fresh in the air, along with all the margaritas from Mexico, but they can go do Mexico. We're right here on the Champions page to talk about this awesome, amazing program, To Be Mindset. And we are very excited to continue what we've been doing. So this is week two. So if you haven't watched week one, go back and watch week one, where Ilana kind of gives a story about, she introduces herself, kind of explains how she got to where she is, and a little bit about To Be Mindset. Today's training is a little bit more on the questions that have come in since that training. Ilana is going to be addressing some of those questions. And then we have Micah Folsom, who was a participant in the To Be Mindset group, and she's going to come on and give her thoughts about To Be Mindset and how she's going to implement it, and kind of how it shifted her mindset on food and her approach to nutrition. Lots in store, so let's go ahead and get started. Here's what I want to do. I want to quickly give you guys some, let me share my screen really quick, give you guys some key dates when it comes to the To Be Mindset. So here's what we're going to do. This will be up for a minute, so you don't have to worry, but you can screenshot it if you want, but these are mostly reminders. As Ilana talked about last time, what you want to do between now and May 2nd, because May 2nd is the launch date, between now and May 2nd, we want you to start promoting and building momentum. Head on over to your back office, to the coup. There's the sheets that you want to download, the pre-order packs, where you want to start getting lists of names, where you start to want to get coaches' names and customers' names. And then there's plenty of, also, I don't know if you guys have noticed, plenty of sizzle videos and plenty of marketing materials that we want you to start using to start promoting To Be Mindset. We want to get through this so that come May 2nd, it's just a turnkey situation where you just, all those share cards for your customers, and for your coaches, they go ahead and purchase their packs as well. So May 2nd is the next date. That's the date. That's our pre-app launch is what we're calling this. So all packs are $20 off until June 3rd. The reason being is because the app won't be available just yet. So between May 2nd and June 3rd, we want you guys to get as many people on as possible so that come June 3rd, when the app is available to you, it's automatically in. You don't have to pay any extra for it, and you don't have to pay the extra $20 for the app, and it's in, you're ready to go. And the third bullet point that talks about the promotional pricing and access to Ilana's coach exclusive test group. Guys, I can't stress it enough. You want to be in this group. This is unlike any other coach test group on Facebook that has ever been possible, simply because Ilana is going to be teaching you how to talk about To Be Mindset, how to approach To Be Mindset, how to talk to your customers about it, answer your questions, because you will have all of these questions between May 2nd and May 14th that you want to get out of the way, so that you can, when you run your first coach test group yourself on May 14th, you know all the answers already. So get on May 2nd, guys, get in, purchase the stuff, and then you get access to Ilana's exclusive test group. May 14th is when we want you to start. That's the recommended date for you to start your own customer group or success group. On May 20th, we want you to start promoting your next one. That starts on June 4th. For those that didn't get in on your first test group on May 14th, start promoting your second one for June 4th. Take advantage of the promotional pricing. On June 4th, the price will go up. You'll see here June 3rd is the last day to request access to Ilana's test group. That's when you can get in, and then it goes on, and then the app launches on June 4th. And then June 4th, recommended date to start a second customer group or success group. So that's kind of where we are at with our dates. I will stop sharing my screen. And so like I said, what we're going to do now is we're going to bring on Ilana, where she's going to come on and start answering some of your questions that have come along. There she is, Ilana, welcome. Nice to see you again. Let me unmute you. There you go. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Ilana, from last week's training, we got some great questions coming in, and we want you to simply come on and address some of those concerns. You've dealt with these before, and this will help answer some of our coaches' questions. You ready for this?
Oh yeah, rapid fire.
Let's do this. All right, question number one that came in. Let's talk about Shakeology. How does Shakeology fit in with To Be Mindset?
Perfectly, so beautifully. I love Shakeology, and even before I started with Beachbody, I had clients bring it to me, ask me questions about it, and I've always admired it. And it kind of always worked within what I recommend to people as a complimentary shake if they were going to choose one. Ever since started Beachbody, me, my husband, have it on a regular basis. My husband wouldn't leave to work without it. My daughter has daily sunshine every day. So we're really, really big fans. I love Shakeology, and it perfectly integrates within the To Be Mindset. It works as an amazing protein that's also delicious, so it's great for cravings, and it's so filling and satisfying. And I break down for you, like based on its nutritional profile, why and how with the To Be Mindset. So I think even as coaches and Shakeology enthusiasts, I think you'll really get a newfound perspective and appreciation for Shakeology when you hear how I talk about it a little bit more, and actually take on more customers and clients from that perspective, as just a super filling, satisfying accompaniment to your meal that is so high in protein. I'm a big fan of having protein at every meal because protein is what keeps us full and satisfied. And why eat if we're not going to stay full and satisfied? That's why we're going to eat big, filling, satisfying meals and feel full every day while losing weight with To Be Mindset. And Shakeology has worked so beautifully as part of that. And so it can work as part of your breakfast, lunch, dinner, or snack. I am a big fan of having a consistent breakfast. I believe in a good morning routine that just sets you up for a really good day. And so I personally like to have Shakeology as part of my consistent breakfast. But we've had so many coaches and people do the program, having it every day while losing weight and feeling so satisfied To Be Mindset, incorporating it into their lunches and their snacks and their dinners, and however they see fit. So you guys will love it. I believe like Shakeology is just, it's so good and good for you. I'm like staring at all my bags. And I'm also a really big fan of all the boosts. And I actually use the digestive boost, the power greens. My husband uses the focus. I like to have coffee, so it makes me a little too jittery. But I'm a really big fan of all the boosts and everything that Shakeology represents and supports in helping you lose weight, reducing cravings, serving as a really good protein source, but also just it's a great mindset shifter. It keeps you consistent. It keeps you on the go, keeps you like feeling like you're investing into a good part of your day and setting yourself up for success. And Shakeology is definitely highly integrated as part of the To Be Mindset.
I think that was a perfect answer. I have a follow-up question to that, maybe just for my own curiosity. You say Shakeology is part of a healthy, consistent breakfast. Could you give an example of what a meal looks like for breakfast that includes Shakeology?
Well, technically Shakeology is a supplement. It's not a meal replacement. And I actually really appreciate and enjoy that. I happen to, make Shakeology mixed with water, ice, cinnamon. I like to make it really thick. And eat it slowly with a spoon rather than drink it on the go, because I'm a big fan of eating. So it makes me feel like even though it's a shake, I eat it slowly in that way. And I, obviously you can mix it with like half a banana or some fruit or a whole banana, depending on what your day looks like. You'll see all that with the To Be Mindset. And mix it all together and have one thing. I like to make it like thick, like I said, like with a spoon, like a mousse, and top it with this granola that I like, that I actually spoke about in the breakfast video that you can find on the Beachbody Facebook page. So I like sprinkle it with the granola, or I top it with some fruit, because I'm a big fan of kind of partnering up your breakfast. You want some protein in there, you want some fiber-filled carbs in there, because that really gives you what you need first thing in the morning. The fiber-filled carbohydrates give you that great energy to jumpstart your day, and the protein found in Shakeology keeps you full and satisfied through the morning. So you're not, dipping at 10 a.m. or craving this, or when, cupcakes come into here, you want them. It's like you're actually just so steady, full, satisfied, and complete that you can just feel great your whole morning. And so I kind of use Shakeology in that way. I either, mix it with granola on top. Sometimes I whip it with Greek yogurt, and I make like what I call a Wonder Whip, which is even more delicious in a lot of ways. Top that with berries or cacao nibs, or, people like People have done the most amazing recipes with Shakeology and the 2B mindset. So I'm excited for all of you to see some of them when they come out. And of course, you could always just like put it into a shaker cup with water and then, you know, grab an apple and run out the door if you're someone on the go. And I totally get that too.
You heard it here first, folks. Wonder Whip, the new craze across Beachbody.
Yes, you can see my Wonder Whip recipes on my Instagram. They're freaking amazing, especially when you use Shakeology to whip.
Yes, I'm with you as well. The closer I can get my Shakeology to look like ice cream, the happier I am.
I'm totally with you.
Yes. Okay. We got to move on. Okay. Let's move on to Beach Bars. They just launched out. And I follow you on Instagram, and I've noticed a lot of pictures with Beach Bars. This is awesome. So how do they fall into this program as well?
This is one of the coolest things. I consider myself one of the luckiest dietitians ever. Before working with Beachbody, I used to, you know, partner with different companies, and I would only ever partner with a company that had products that I believed in. Beachbody obviously is like the golden standard because I'm so behind everything, and especially all the things that have come out even since I started working with Beachbody 2 years ago, like Daily Sunshine and the Beach Bars. I'm just in full support of. Even prior to ever working with Beachbody, I used to recommend, what do we want in a snack? And the literal demographics and guidelines I would put for what you want in a snack is the Beach Bar. So you guys will learn like how I picture a snack. I'm really a big believer in a snack should be a snack, not snacking. You know, it should be something like solid that keeps you full between meals. It should be about 150 calories or less. The bars are 150 calories. It should have more protein than sugar if it's a bar, which the Beach Bars have like double amount of protein than sugar. It should have at least 1 to 2 grams of fiber. The Beach Bars have 4. So it is like perfect. It's individually wrapped, tastes delicious. You can look forward to it. It's 150 calories or less. It has fiber. It's really high in protein. It knocks every bar off the market. And there were so many people ask me online, everywhere I go, like, what do I think about the RX bars? What do I think about this bars? And all these leading bars on the market. And I'm thrilled that I have something so much better to present to people because I think the Beach Bar is by far the best. I really would love to get it in stores for that reason because I just think if it were side by side with these things, it would be a no-brainer.
We fully agree with you. And I had mine this morning. I had my snack and actually thought of it. I'm like, oh, Ilana would like this. She would approve of this.
I've actually been thinking about how delicious it would be to like chop up the bar in like little pieces and sprinkle that over a Shakeology. So
I'm writing that down as we speak. That is my.
And I want to freeze them. I really want to freeze them. I want to put some in the freezer.
Wow. All these ideas popping in your head. This is great stuff. Okay. Question number 3. Performance line products.
Okay. So the performance line, I mean, obviously our performance line products are incredible. They're really though meant and designed for a high intensity, you know, very rigorous workout routine that you might not necessarily be doing or starting when you're doing the 2B mindset. When 2B Mindset launches on May 2nd within the coach office, there's going to be a wonderful video produced with Lara Ross, who's the EVP of Beachbody, who's been working so closely with me in the program, and Denis, who's the head of FNR, who works in FNR and has been working on, you know, a lot of those nutrition plans that have come with the workout programs in the past. And they have a video coming out on May 2nd discussing how you would use the performance line if you were doing the 2B Mindset while doing a workout program. And it explains like, if you're doing something like 3-week yoga retreat, you might not need the performance line as long as you're following the 2B Mindset and its principles. And if you do want to add Energize, Energize is like everyone should and could have Energize. I mean, I feel like that's like the secret potion behind why everyone at Beachbody is so happy. So Energize obviously works. When it comes to like hydrate and recovery and recharge, you know, it really kind of depends on which program you're doing and how you would want to incorporate that. And you absolutely could with the 2B Mindset. We're going to have a PDF and a video kind of explaining like, well, if it's size and PIO, you know, you might want the recovery, but you might not need necessarily the hydrate as long as you're drinking enough water. So they really kind of like break down each program of Beachbody and how you would incorporate the performance line based on what you're doing.
So what you're saying is we've already thought of the answer to that.
Well,
we made a video about it.
Yeah, I mean, since even starting the test groups for 2B Mindset, Sean Week came out, 80 Day Obsession came out, and a lot of people have been doing the 2B Mindset eating plan while, still having fun doing all these workout programs. So it's been a really good experience. And I'm actually super excited that the 2B Mindset, people will have like about 2 months to do this before Lift 4 comes out, because I think that's actually a perfect structure for setting people up to be most successful with that. Because you'll like get a good plan with your eating, and then you'll actually be at the point where you'll probably be down like, I don't know, 15 to 25 pounds, whatever you're at. And that's actually a really good time to start wanting to amp up a workout routine. And I love that it's 4 days a week, because that gives you opportunities to, see what's working for you and what's not based on what you're doing those days versus others.
Coaches, that's exactly what you should be doing. Ilana, can we sign you up as a coach? We should sign you up as a coach. You would be a phenomenal coach, because you know exactly. I love that you're planning ahead of time. You know that Lift 4 is coming out, and you know that there's this time in between. It's the perfect time to set yourself up for success.
And to really focus on this. I mean, yeah, really, really, really put your mind and focus on this. And if you want to continue working out and doing, size, PIO, quarter 4, there's like a zillion, obviously the whole catalog. You can do it, but make sure that this is your priority for the next 2 months for sure. And then you'll be so much better off as you take on, different workout challenges in your future.
Perfect. Okay, well, talk about perfect segues. Let's move on to the segue of exercise. We have coaches here who are so dedicated to the exercise, and there's, it's just part of who they are. Let's get your opinion on exercise and 2B Mindset.
Well, first of all, I'm an exerciser, and I think I'm getting this reputation in Beachbody that I'm not. I've always been consistent with my exercise routine. Even when I was super overweight, I'm actually very thankful to my parents that no matter how heavy we were, no matter how much like my parents struggled and yo-yoed and did every diet in the book and all that stuff, my dad was always pretty consistent with working out. And I always kind of enjoyed it too. I'm actually a certified yoga instructor and group fitness instructor myself, which I don't think a lot of people know. And I love to work out. I do it regularly. The one thing though, is I realized when I was going through my weight loss struggles, and trying to figure it out for myself, I kept realizing, hold on, it doesn't matter how much I'm working out. If my food is not in control, then it's not working. And I realized, it doesn't matter how hard I think I worked out in that class, that cupcake or shake or smoothie bowl that I'm picking up at a random restaurant with tons of nut butter and dates and stuff is not helping me or deserving of what I'm doing. And now I'm actually undoing all that hard work. So I really had to figure that out. And that's when I started saying, at a very young age, I came up with that saying that you guys will hear me say a lot, which is food is everything. What we eat is everything, and exercise is extra credit, as you'll see. And I say that because obviously exercise is heart healthy. Obviously it's a great stress reliever. It's great for helping us sleep better. It's actually been proven to be helpful for maintaining weight. But when it comes to weight loss, which is also extremely heart healthy, lowers your blood pressure, lowers your risk of diabetes, heart disease, and all these things if you're overweight or obese, that actually can have a greater impact. And then if you focus on that and getting your eating in control, then you see that exercising is such a beautiful accompaniment to it. And you start to look forward to exercise and start to enjoy it, and start to be more fun and engaging. So I know a lot of coaches are nervous that I'm saying like, you don't necessarily have to work out from the beginning, but that's where a lot of people are. And I was 100 pounds overweight doing burpees, and I'm telling you, it is not that fun. When everything is shaking and you don't feel that, secure in your body and you're not that comfortable. It could be a lot simpler and more approachable and effective for someone to focus on eating well on a consistent basis and getting that into a really good place. And then when you shed off those external layers and you feel more empowered and confident in your skin, you actually want to work out and you look forward to seeing like what my body can do. So it's really great for people who who don't love to work out, but it's also probably really great for you if you are someone like me who's always worked out but wasn't really seeing the results they wanted because the food just wasn't in a great place. Well, for you, then I really, 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 really recommend you continue to work out, because like if someone told me to stop working out, I would be, not the greatest wife and mother, because I feel like it really does help me relieve stress and be more patient and breathe deeper in all aspects of my life. But I do recommend you dial it down for a minute. And that can mean like going from a 6-day-a-week regimen to maybe 4 to 5. So you have maybe an extra hour or two. in your week to go grocery shopping and watch the To Be Mindset videos and really start integrating this into your life. It can mean going from something like that you're doing that might be evoking like a really big appetite that makes you feel ravenous to something that maybe feels like more cool and calming. So like for me, I find like if I go to a spin class, which I still do, I still go to spin class because I figured out like how to make it work. But in the past, I'd go to spin classes, and then I felt like I had to eat the world, and I had to like stop going to spin for, a few weeks while I maybe went to yoga, Pilates, a bar class, or PIO type things, dance classes, like size, to start getting more in tune with what my body really needs. And then I was able to dial up the exercise from there. So, that's my perspective on exercising. I would never tell anyone to stop working out if they are. But you have to just be flexible with it. People doing the To Be Mindset eating plan in the challenge, in the test groups, we're also doing 80-day obsession workouts. We're also doing Shaman Week workouts, but they were a little more flexible in their approach, and they actually saw insanely incredible results because of it, because they would be okay taking off the Tuesday workout to, take another extra hour to, make a couple of recipes for the week, and found that that was better for their overall week results and progress than necessarily doing that one extra hour. So I just recommend that with the To Be Mindset, you prioritize this. This is the thing you focus on. This is the thing that gets all your effort and your energy on a day-to-day basis. And the workouts you'll weave in as a beautiful complement to it, and to just improving your health and mindset and well-being. So, I'm never telling anyone to stop working out, but you have to figure out which workout works for you, because there's 3-week yoga retreat and there's hammer and chisel. Both are healthy. Both are good for you. Both can work, but like, it's a very different person. Someone doing hammer and chisel who's meant to be doing yoga and Pilates is probably going to be overeating because they feel like they're struggling so much with that they need to give themselves a break in another area, and that's not how we want to be viewing exercise. We want to be looking at it as something that's enjoyable, as a treat, and not that we have to be overly rewarded in our food because of.
What I'm gathering from this, which I love that answer, Coach, is you need to know the programs, and you need to know when between May 2nd and May 14th, figure it out, because just as Ilana said, you're going to be approaching a huge range of different people who need different things. And you need to know which one best fits them so that you can properly, diagnosis, I don't want to use that word, but help them achieve the success they're looking for. And because just as she said, the spectrum's too wide to have everybody be doing like Insanity Max 30, scariest program I think that we own. That's not for everybody. So we need to have this comfortableness of talking about all of these things.
And we literally do have something for everyone within the Beachbody On Demand catalog. And that's why people actually doing To Be Mindset have been so freed in a lot of ways, saying that they're so excited because they their favorite thing has always been hip hop abs. And they're so thankful that they now kind of have permission to go back into them. What? And so I think we should be looking at it like that, exercise, enjoyable, celebrating it.
Well said. Okay. Next question is, we have, and when I first heard about this, I as well, I guess, I don't know if I've been told so many times to hate the scale that I heard their coworkers are are you weighing every single day? That's going to drive you bonkers. So I had that mindset. So that's something that To Be Mindset recommends. Let's hear how we can have a loving relationship with that scale.
I don't know how much time you have, because I could talk about this for a really long time. I am a huge fan of the scale. I would never, ever have lost my 100 pounds and kept it off without it. The scale is your friend. The scale is a tool. The scale is the thing that has not changed for thousands of years, unlike everything else around us that has. I'm just gonna go and just talk about this because I know a lot of people hate the scale. Of course you do. If you've been avoiding it, you're gonna hate it. You're gonna be terrified of it. I'm not gonna tell you, you're gonna love this scale. The more you avoid it, the more scary it becomes, because you're so scared what this number is. And you've probably been telling yourself that I'm more than a number and I shouldn't define myself as a number. The thing is, though, is that we keep talking about the obesity crisis. We keep saying how 2 out of 3 Americans are either overweight or obese, and how that is directly contributing to our rising risks of heart disease, diabetes, and all of our other medical care cost issues that we're having leading to cancers and otherwise. We're talking about the obesity crisis, we're talking about the overweight crisis, and yet weight is measured on a scale and we're avoiding that thing. So imagine if you're avoiding parenting or avoiding looking at your bank account and looking at your finances, like you can't really expect the most positive results. It's literally just a tool that helps you keep an eye on it. And there are so many studies showing that just a 1 kilogram gain, which is 2 pound gain, just a 2 pounds gain can contribute 4.5 to 9% increase in your risk of diabetes. And people are avoiding looking at a scale, which could help you learn how to lose those 2 pounds. And then, rather instead severely increasing the risk of diabetes, and then are left like having to finger prick themselves and test their blood sugars at home, rather than just use this $20 thing you buy on Amazon in a way that I show you how to use it. So I understand right now people are terrified of this scale, and you might have a very negative relationship with the scale right now because you probably were going on it a zillion times in a past without the proper tools and program to help you see how to use it. I literally, I can't promise, not legal, but we've tested this now with 450, with hundreds of people. I mean, I've literally thousands of clients I've worked with. You will love the scale. You are going to see how empowering it is. We are told so much, don't eat this, yes, eat this. Every diet is telling you what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. And every blog post and everything is telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing. And it's created this insane fear of food. And I find a lot of people, when they say they're scared of the scale, it really comes down to a big fear of food that everyone has, because we're told that sugar is poison and deep fried foods are poison and all this stuff. And at the end of the day, people with the 2B mindset, when you learn how to eat well, and you learn that the scale is just a tool teaching you like what works, what doesn't for your body, you realize actually you can have a slice of pizza with your family as long as you go about it in the way that I'm going to show you, and you actually can still lose weight that week. And it's not the end of the world. And you didn't cheat, and you didn't have to, and now you don't have to starve afterwards. And now you don't have to do a just triple workout later. So I think everyone is so scared of this thing. And I think people don't realize that they don't have it. And of course you should be nervous about it the first day you go on it. If you haven't been going on for a while, it can be scary because probably a lot of weight came on. But just know that like with time, I'll show you that you'll just use it as a tool to help you figure out for yourself what works and what doesn't. And it's also tremendous for making sure your weight stays off. I just worked with someone who told me they hate the scale. And then I started asking her, like, what programs have you done in the past? She started citing off every fad diet in the past 15 years. And she was talking about HCG, which is where people literally inject themselves with a needle, with hormones, and restrict themselves to under 500 calories a day. And I go, how was your experience with that? She goes, it was amazing. I go, what? She goes, I lost like 30 pounds that month. And I said, how fast did you gain it back? She goes, oh, probably like a week or two. And I was like, were you going on the scale while doing it? She goes, yeah, I loved the scale while I was doing it because it kept going down. So I was going on all the time. And then I said, well, what about when you stopped doing it? She goes, no, of course not. That's like one of the things people do is like, they like the scale when it's going down, but they avoid it when they feel like they're so off. And with the 2B mindset, you're going to realize like that you don't have to only eat 500 calories a day and you don't have to cut out a zillion things. You could actually continue eating big, filling, satisfying meals. And that scale will actually continue to go down, and it'll actually reshape your ability to trust food again and trust yourself, because it's actually a lot simpler than people make it. And these diets telling people to do all these restrictive, horrible things is not the answer. And you'll start to love that you can see these positive results and see the scale go down and keep improving your health and going from an obese BMI to an overweight to actually a healthy range while still living your life in a really positive way. So, I mean, definitely. I know you've been scared of the scale, but I am a big believer that telling people to avoid this thing for the past 30 years is also one of the reasons why our obesity rates have skyrocketed in the past 30 years. And so I think obviously what I'm saying is different, but if nothing changes, nothing changes. And we need to look at it a lot more objectively. Doctors' offices still need to know your weight. And what I am hearing now from people over and over again, as I talk more and more about the scale, is that people have avoided doctor's appointments, avoided physicals just because they're scared to go on that scale. That is dangerous. That is dangerous, and that is sad, and that is scary, and that is not what we should be doing, because your weight is just, it's an indicator of, it's a parameter of your health. If you look at American Heart Association, American Diabetes Association, how to lower your blood pressure, lowering your weight by 10%. So the scale is just a measure of your weight. Weight is a huge issue in our world right now. Everyone's tracking their steps, tracking their macros, tracking their finances, tracking their sleep hours, tracking their bowel movements. How come no one's tracking like the most simplest thing ever? So I understand right now I'm talking about this in a really clear and sensible way that seems really scientific and non-emotional. And I understand everyone has a very emotional reaction to the scale. So I don't want to undermine that. I'm not saying I like it when the scale goes up. Even though I'm 8.5 months pregnant, it's still not fun seeing your scale go up. I get it. But you'll see with the 2B mindset, like you are either always losing weight or learning from it. And it really helps to shift your mindset and uncover all these like emotional eating issues we've had in the past and start looking at food in a more objective, sensible, purposeful way and not as overly emotional as well. So you'll really appreciate it. I understand it's different because you've been told for a long time to avoid the scale, but you also have to be thinking about what's been happening as you've been avoiding the scale. Your paranoias about food and your anxieties about food have probably increased. Your discomfort in your body has also probably increased. Your fear of going to the doctor or all these things has probably increased. A lot of people like to say they go by their clothes, but I'm literally in non-maternity clothes still at 8.5 months pregnant. So it helps. The scale is just one out of several progress tools you're going to see. So there's so many non-scale victories. You're going to see your just zipping up boots is going to feel more comfortable. And people are talking about how they don't have chub rub this summer and how excited that is with their thighs and just feeling more in control around food, feeling less emotional around food, feeling like they're more participatory with their kids' lives and running around with them at the park. Like there are so many other aspects of life and positive results you're going to see way beyond the scale. But yes, it's something that you're going to use as a tool to help you along your journey, track what's working, what isn't, in a very, very positive way.
Yes, I don't know what else can convince you guys about that scale. That was a soapbox moment and I loved it. And, as I was talking about the coworkers I work with, in the beginning, we all had that mindset. And I use the word mindset simply because that's the truth. And now that they are doing this daily, they have that good relationship with it again. And it is so fun to see this. So I'm excited for all the coaches to move on. You mentioned that you're 8.5 months along. Congratulations on that. Let's move on to that question of pregnancy. I tell you, like I told last week, there's something in the water with Beachbody. We have coaches who are pregnant all over the place. How do they approach 2B mindset while pregnant?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the fact that I'm pregnant. This question just keeps coming up because I think simply the Beachbody audience is highly female and of this age. And yes, and there's something in our Energize or Shakeology for sure. And okay, so yes. And a lot of people are also asking if they can do this if they're preparing for IVF treatments or if they have PCOS or infertility issues as well. And absolutely. And the answer for people who are not pregnant but are preparing to become pregnant, absolutely. You should totally do the 2B mindset. It's a very healthy approach to eating. Obviously, always get oversight by your doctor. The question of, can you do this program if you are pregnant? This question keeps coming up a lot. And obviously, because I'm so pregnant, people are confused by it. I have to say, right now, as the program stands, and how it's meant to be delivered on May 2nd, it's a very effective weight loss program. So at this current moment today, it is not recommended for pregnant women because it really is designed for weight loss. However, we have tested this program with modifications for pregnant women, and it was really, really successful. And they're saying that they've had really positive pregnancies because of it. However, we have to make those modifications into some sort of form. Hopefully that will be ready in the next 2 weeks, but it's possible it's not. So as it stands today, I don't recommend pregnant women start it, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we will prepare some sort of modification of how you will modify this if you're pregnant, and make it so that it's contributing to healthy eating, a healthy relationship with food in your body, but you're not focused on weight loss, obviously. And you're, making tweaks as needed. So I don't recommend if you're pregnant that you do it the exact program. And hopefully we can get some, well-reviewed modifications to you so you could do this in the future.
Very cool. Okay, we're going to move on now to our 30-second response questions. We're looking for some rapid fire answers here.
I'm chatting.
Let's see how we do. How long is To Be Mindset? How long is the program?
However long you need it to be. You can watch the videos, in total in a week. But, obviously, if you have 5 pounds to lose, you might be really focused on this program for 2 weeks. Whereas if you have 150 pounds or more to lose, you're going to be a lot more focused on this for longer. The thing is that this is really like, a lot of coaches explain this as a course. It's really like a nutrition and mindset course that you learn, and you're learning very practical tools that you want to keep with you for the rest of your life. So we didn't put an end date on it because you really can't take that away. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like if you go to Italy and take a cooking class, you can't come back and say like, I'm undoing the cooking class. So because it's so much more thinking and knowledge of how you're perceiving food in your body, it's not like I'm following a strict, like I can't eat that and I can't eat that. It's not something that you would ever really be able to take away in a very positive sense. So there's no really end point, because there's some principles that you're just always going to have in your mind forever. And that's going to keep you keeping the weight off and feeling more positive in your relationship with food forever. So I guess it kind of depends on how much weight you have to lose. That's how, focused you're going to be on it, like to a T, making sure it's effective. But there's really no start and end date.
Okay, that's a great answer. This is coaches are so used to a 30-day program, 60-day program, 90-day program. Guys, there's no end date on this one, which is great. Okay, next 30-second question. Containers. We're so used to containers. How do we approach that?
Again, like different things for different people. And it's, a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, this program like is not for containers, or that Ilana is whatever. I think people have to realize I didn't even know what the containers were 2 years ago before I met Beachbody. So it's kind of like I lost my 100 pounds and I've been working with thousands of clients forever without knowing about that program. So that's why it's completely different, has like entirely different perspective. So the same way we were talking about with exercise, like there's hammer and chisel and there's 3-week yoga retreat, or, there's hammer and chisel, there's country heat, and there's pilot. Like they're just different for different people. The same way, this is not like anything in the container system. There's like literally no parallel. You would never can try to weave them together. However, because so many people have been doing containers for so long that we're actually in the coach test group, a lot of people didn't ever look at them. But then there were like 1 or 2 coaches who did continue to say that they would still put their quinoa in a container. They would still put their grapes in a container, or they, because that just like gave them a greater sense of control and comfort. And for that reason, I'm a huge fan. So if you've been doing the containers for a long time, you can absolutely use them as an accessory and accompaniment to the To Be mindset, whatever makes you feel more in control and positive and happy with your ability to control food. If that is still putting, food in a container, then that can totally work. But you definitely do not need the containers to do this program. And you definitely don't, you don't even have to have known that program in order to do this. Okay.
And our final 30-second question here. People are wanting to know what the heck To Be stands for.
Okay. The To Be mindset. So I have these 4 foundational principles. And it was basically like I just had my daughter and I was exhausted. And I was working with a private client and I was like, you need to do this, 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 and this. And then I think just like not sitting and looking at baby books all the time. And so I realized it kind of looks like 2 bunnies. So I started calling them my 2 bunnies. It's just 4 of my zillion of principles that you're going to learn with the To Be mindset, but they are my foundational principles. And that's why you'll see a lot of pictures of me doing this and people doing this. And you're going to want to be doing this. But, Carl Deichler, someone who's made programs called Insanity Max 30, was not that interested in having a program launched. So the To Be mindset, To Be does stand for the 2 bunnies. It's how Lara and I found a way to weave it in there. But To Be also stands for just, you're really going to get to that weight you want to be. You're going to get to that life you want to have. It's very forward focused. It really is everything you want to make of it, and everything that you've been holding yourself back from, you can be with this program. And so To Be really has also stood a lot for that just underlying positive forward thinking mentality that you're going to have with this program.
Perfect. Guys, Start doing the pitching.
Yes. And the mindset, by the way, is a word that I have never even used so much in the past. But in running the test groups, we were saying, like, how do we name this program? How do we name this program? I think it was like the longest a program has been with Beachbody and Development without a name. And it was like making everyone crazy. We couldn't get a name. Like people kept saying food freedom and I don't know, like all these words. But we realized, like, when we were taking testimonial videos from people doing the program, they just kept saying, I can't explain it. My mindset is just in a better place. My mindset is just improved. My mindset is just improved. And we realized, I mean, that's just what everyone's saying. So.
Yep. Okay. Well, you're off the hot seat, but we're going to keep you around. As the saying goes, don't take our word for it. What we're going to do now is we're going to invite our coach guest speaker, Micah Folsom, to jump on. Micah, welcome to our little chat. This has been so educational. Micah, what we're going to do is have you kind of introduce people know who you are. People have seen you. We want to kind of hear your perspective on how To Be Mindset was for you and how this kind of changed your attitude towards maybe food, how you approach, and then kind of move on to, so this is kind of what I'm going to be doing with my coaches and how I'm going to start building my business. So welcome.
Thank you. Okay. So I will just reference it by saying when I got into the To Be Mindset test group, I was pregnant. And so we had a separate pregnant group where we were modifying and doing things. So I don't legally can't say that like you can be pregnant and do it, but 100% it's a lifestyle, mindset, habits, learning, like you can do it. Okay. So
with the modifications.
Right. With the modifications. So
yes, we just have to publish them.
Yes. But it was incredible. So for me, I was always an athlete. I always ate whatever I wanted. I had this when after ball games, we would go celebrate with food. Holidays were food. Everything good in my life was circled around good, unhealthy, the silly foods. And so I had an emotional thing with food. And so that's the thing that I took away most is developing a healthier relationship, learning why I turn to certain foods when I'm feeling a certain way. I mean, and as a coach, these are all of the things that we deal with when we're working with our clients, when they struggle and when they're overweight and when they're battling these emotional things. It doesn't matter what program or what nutrition plan you put them on if they don't deal with the underlying issues. And so like when I got into this test group and was going through her videos and oh my heavens, I was just like, this is everything. Like this is the missing link to revolutionizing health and fitness in the world. Like honestly, because it touches on all of those things. It teaches people how to eat, like for life. Not just for 21 days, not just, I love the containers, totally believe in them, love that they teach people exactly how to eat and all those things. But this is so different in that you have to listen to your body. You're tracking everything. You're weighing every single morning. You're learning finally how your body responds to certain foods, what makes your weight go up, what makes you bloat, what makes you retain water, what your body responds well to. And so it's really teaching the individual because nutrition is so unique to everyone. And we all know that. So instead of just throwing a meal plan at our clients and saying, this is what I do, good luck, hope it works for you. You're going, okay, we're going to go through this course. We're going to learn how to do this for the rest of our life. And they are being empowered to do this. I mean, we're supporting them, but they can do it by themselves. They really can. Like they're learning how to do that. So I like the experience that I had personally was like game changer for me. It just totally helped me understand like why I did what I did. I wasn't a weirdo. I wasn't like, I didn't have problems. It was just, it's a thing that lots of people deal with. And now I understand how to help people who also have those same things. And the scale thing, oh my gosh, you guys. In the test group, there was some people that were literally freaking out. Like, I can't do this. And, and I get it because for how long I was like, hide your scale. It doesn't matter because you have so many people that are defined by the number. And so it's like an easy way to help them just not freak themselves out. but it is such a valuable tool. And it really is. It becomes when you get on the scale, because obviously I'm postpartum now, so I'm actually wanting to lose weight. So when you get on the scale and it's a little bit lower than it was the day before, it's that immediate win that you need. It's that when you turn to these unhealthy foods, you get that instant gratification. The scale becomes that instant gratification every day. And so you crave it. And when you are up against this cupcake or this brownie or this burger, you go, okay, do I really want it? Or do I want to continue moving closer to my goals? And you know that you're going to step on the scale the next morning. And so that's not that far away. And you have those baby wins every single day. And then you start to develop those habits. You start to crave the good stuff because of how it's making you feel, the veggies and all the things that lots of times you're not really super excited to eat. But it was just like, it's a game changer. Like 100%. I can't wait to help my clients. That's been the hardest thing for me as I've been going through the program. I'm like, I just want to like scream like what's working and like little tips and things that I've learned. I'm like, I just want to tell everyone about it. So the second that it launches, I'm like, game on. Everyone needs this, for real.
Love you. And congratulations.
Perfect. That was awesome. And I feel your passion. And coaches watching this, guys, this is what you need to be doing right now. This is the kind of thing you need to be preparing for, because come May 2nd, you're going to have access to everything that you need to that Mike has been wanting to share for so long. You want to understand it. You want to get an understanding of, okay, this is what she means by this. This is how I'm going to approach this. Guys, the scale, that's going to be a huge topic. Understand how to approach the scale with your coaches, and then make this a journey for everybody. It's accountability. A scale is accountability. Start those success groups. We're not calling them challenge groups here because it's not a challenge. We're all about success, changing the mindset. We want our success groups to be extremely successful. And it's going to start with you understanding what 2B mindset is. So, Micah, thank you so much for joining us. Ilana, any final words you want to go off with?
No, I'm just so excited for everyone to get started. I know people are freaking out. They just want to start it sooner, but yes. We have 2 weeks, and 2 weeks before doing the program is a really great time to get a physical, go to the doctor, have those starting points, because in addition to the scale, like I said, so many aspects of your life will improve with this, including very likely your labs, your cholesterol levels, your triglycerides, your blood sugar levels, and all that stuff. We've seen incredible results and people's just overall health and well-being. So set up those doctor's appointments. I think that's what I really would love everyone to do before doing this program. Let's get a good baseline of all your health parameters, because it's also so scary to me that people have been avoiding that for so long. So preventable measures are key. Annual checkups are a really good idea. And you're all going to rock this and love it. And I'm excited for you to start. And
get in the test group. Ilana's going to be there.
Do you want me to give like 2 tips about or like a game plan really quick?
Please, that would be awesome.
This is something that I know my coaches were like, how are we going about this? Because it is different. Like you don't have a 30-day deadline. It's not like a 60-day program. So I'm just going to like really fast. This is my game.
Coaching is key.
What?
But coaching is key. I feel like even 100%. More so than the workouts. Like I think like a coach dynamic and a group dynamic. That's just why like even my high school friends who just want to get it directly from online, I'm telling, please look for a coach first. Please find a coach. Go on Team Beachbody Instagram page or like find a coach. Use the hashtag 2B Mindset, find a coach, because a coach and that accountability and that group support dynamic, I think, is why I see sometimes better results in these test groups than I'm seeing even in my private clients who are paying me like so much money to see me weekly, is because it's that day-to-day group dynamic and support.
100%. Yeah. So what we're going to do with our team is as a coach, if you're watching this, you need to commit to do it, because I had one of my leaders was in a test group before me, and I knew that she was in it. And so she would just like say little things here and there. And I'm like, what? Like you won't get it. You won't get it until you are experiencing it. Okay. So if you're a coach, if you ever want to help someone with this, you need to do it first. So commit to doing it, get it on May 2nd, rock it out. And then get your coaches to do it, obviously. So what we're going to do with our team is I'm going to have everyone get it on May 2nd. Get into the coach group with Ilana. You guys, you don't understand the value of Ilana until like we had her in the test group. Like her passion, her knowledge, her everything, like she is in there. She wants you to succeed. She's helping like helping with all of these random questions, you want to be in the coach test group. Okay. So get in there, have access to her. And that's going to help you help your people that much more. So I love that Kevin gave a 2-week time frame where you're in it with her and you're doing it and you're learning it and you're going through the videos and you're tweaking how you feel and learning things, and then kick off your group on the 14th, because that gives you time to really feel confident talking to people about it, inviting people to it, finding the people that it's going to be right for. It's right for everyone. Let's be real. But that 2-week frame. So that's what I'm going to do with my group or with my team. And we're going to have an ongoing for the rest of our life to be community on Facebook. So any of our challengers, obviously you're going to have lots of different people that are into yoga and this and that. But if they're doing to be mindset, then they're going to be in this community. Everyone's going to be in there to answer questions, support each other for the rest of their life.
And it has to be separate. One coach, one team of coaches asked me like, oh, so we're going to like add to be into people who are doing containers. And I said, absolutely not. Like, not even a question. Like, absolutely not. Like, for the better of everyone and mankind, do not do that. You will just confuse everyone. To Be Mindset is a beautiful bubble of a group of people who are just going to be like glowing with positivity and wanting to share how the To Be system and mindset is really like working in such a positive way into their own lives, asking questions, gaining insight from each other. Do not let anyone not doing the program into your group, because, or like, it would just, or if someone is doing some other like keto in this group, it will be horrible. Like, it's just, this is so positive and enriching and loving and incredible. So give everyone what they deserve and wholeheartedly like make a separate To Be Mindset group, because it's going to want to stay on for eternity. I mean, like, we started our first our first test group of just not coaches, just everyday people, over like, I think 16 months ago. And every day they're all, and I'm in it, posting and sharing and everything. And awesome. It's like the happiest group of friends. So.
Yeah, for sure. Separate community, To Be, and it's going to be awesome. So that's what we're doing right now. We just have like a holding place. We have an info group. So we've shared some transformations, shared some of Ilana's videos. So they like have some feelers. And those are all the people that are chomping at the bit to get their hands on it. So right now we're just kind of putting feelers out, funneling people into there, getting them some info now. And then on the 2nd, everyone will be ready to go. So, well, yeah. Well, yeah, that was one thing I was going to, so I think I'm still going to have them get it on the 2nd so they can be going through the videos, because I want them to have 2 weeks to really, I like binged on the videos when I got into the test group and watched them like all in a day. And so I want them to really be able to soak them in, watch them over again. And then we can come together and say on the 14th, we're kind of kicking off and doing all that. So that's my game plan.
And of course, some people will start immediately because there's so many things they can do every day.
Well, what I love, if you have, I love, Mike, that you're starting this group now, because I think between May 2nd and May 14th, that's when all the chatter can happen. They have an area to go to ask questions, and the team, well, what do you think about this? How can we get more people to focus on this? And you can think about, well, because people have said no to you before because of whatever reason. Now we can go back to these people who have said no because we're coming at them with something completely different, a whole new mindset. And if exercise wasn't their thing, the door's back open.
Yep. And if like, you just never know. Like, I feel like we just have, it's just another tool in our tool belt. Like, maybe someone wants to know exactly what to eat, when to eat it, how much. Perfect. They can do time nutrition with 80-day obsession. But like, if you want someone who has felt like they've been controlled by food their whole life, and they get into these negative behaviors when they're super committed to measuring and all of those things, like, we get to help so many people with so many different backgrounds, that this is just one more tool that we are able to help even more people on a bigger scale. And I'm just so pumped about it.
Yep. Okay, guys, we're going to chalk this up as a win. Awesome 2nd week. We're going to do this again next week. Same time, same place, and Ilana's going to be back on. We're going to finalize. We're going to talk about success groups. We're going to talk about the final chapter before this all begins, because this all goes down. It's coming down. Make sure you guys have your coaches lined up. Thank you so much for joining us, Ilana and Micah, today on this To Be Mindset training.
Everyone.
See